When I woke up, I was like, do I want breakfast? Maybe. I don't know. And then I was looking at the time. I was like, ooh, it's like 11:30. They open at noon. If I get there right at noon, I can probably get in right away.
Yeah.
And it's right next to another Broken Egg Cafe.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay. So I made it down there, like almost like 12:05. Walked in, got right in. And then when I got done, I was going to go to another Broken Egg Cafe, but my dad had called me while I was in there. And by the time I was done, I had a mimosa, and then I wasn't hungry anymore. So I was like, I don't need food. So then I was like, I wanted to go to the home store, but then I was like, no, I don't need to go to the home store. But then Old Navy was there, so I went to Old Navy.
Yeah. I get one way or the other.
Yeah.
So
I'm like, there's too many shopping opportunities there. So I was like, all right, so I went shopping. Got a couple things at Old Navy. But while I was at Old Navy, my dad calls me again. And I go, hi. And he goes, hey, you done with your pedicure? Yeah. Now what you doing? Shopping? I'm old Old Navy. Do you need lunch? I mean, I can eat lunch. Yeah. I was like, I got a thing though in a little bit. I mean, are you like already down here? And he goes, well, I feel like a salad. And I was like, well, do you want to come down to Bennett's? Because I'm at Austin, so by the time I get there, you'll probably be there. And he goes, yeah. And I was like, okay, where are you? And he goes, I'm across the street from Bennett's. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm on my way. Yep.
he was very confident you were going to say yes.
Yeah, I was like, okay. I was like, man, it's a good thing I didn't like go and do that. Like, why didn't you just do it during the pedicure? Why didn't you just be like, hey, after you're done, do you want to grab lunch at Bennett's? No, that's not how he works.
I mean, clearly he had to know that's what he wanted to do.
That was the intention. He wanted to go have lunch with me, which is fine. Oh no, and it gets worse because here's the thing: it's not worse, but there was other intent, not just the lunch.
Yeah.
So he buys me lunch, and I'm like, okay. And we get done with lunch, and I was like, hey, you want to walk across the street? I can show you the bar that I built and everything because I'm very proud of it.
Right.
I was like, I need to show, like, you know, a dad because, you know, these are the skills that you learn from these people. And it's like, I did it, look. So I took him over there, and Ben and Jane were there, and they came out. We're chatting for a little bit. And then we went out in the parking lot to leave, and he goes, so you're meeting Mindy at what time? And I was like, I looked at my watch. I was like, I got 45 minutes. Why? Because you had just texted me like 3:30. And I was like, okay, yeah, I've got a little extra time. I was like, hey, why? What's going on? He was like, you want to give me a haircut? And I was like, sure, but like, do you have like clippers? And he goes, yeah, I have them with me. I was like, okay, yep, go to my house. I'll give you a haircut. So literally, like, we drove over here, and then we went on the front porch, and I plugged in his clippers and cut his hair for him. So I was like, so the entire thing was he wanted me to cut his hair. And I'm like, instead of just calling me and being like, hey, do you want to have lunch? And I'll buy you lunch if you'll cut my hair. No, it was like, call me during the pedicure. What are you doing? Okay, bye. Call me after the pedicure. Hey, are you done with the pedicure? Yeah. You want to eat some lunch? Sure. Okay, I'm already here. Okay, great. I'll beat you there. And then we ate lunch, and then after lunch, it's like, oh, hey, you get time to come here. I'm like, dude, why didn't you just, like, at the pedicure, just be like, hey, I need my hair cut. Do you think if I came down and had lunch with you, we could do that? I would have been like, yeah, no problem. Because then I would have immediately left after the pedicure to go meet him for lunch instead of going shopping.
Drunk bitches be like. Drunk bitches be like. Drunk bitches be like.
Welcome to Drunk Bitches Be Like. I'm Brandy.
I'm Mindy.
And this is all about two women, a few beers, some tipsy stories, and some drunk ideas.
Welcome.
I'm like, seriously, dude. Like, just get to the point.
Yeah. I don't, Mom doesn't do that kind of thing. Like, if she needs something, she'll ask for it. Or she'll be like, you know, I don't want to ask you guys for things. And I'm like, well, if you don't ask, we're not going to know. Like,
Yeah.
So, last week, 2 weeks ago, she calls me from the food pantry that she volunteers at, basically full time. Let's see, last month she had 130 hours.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
So she calls me and says, I would donate to you 2 tickets to the gala that they were having. She goes, that's a $200 value, and it's a catered meal and an open bar. Will you guys come to the gala and show people how to bid online? And I was like, sure. So what they did was they had like physical baskets there where you would bid, like a silent auction where you would bid like you normally would.
Yeah.
Write your name on the piece of paper, say that was kind of a semi-cluster, but I wasn't responsible for that part. I mean, I would tell people if they asked, but I'm not responsible. So they went through this website called Travel Pledge, and you can list items that you physically have, and then businesses donate to charities. You can go in and see what like trips that are available or like overnight stays or whatever. So you can go through there and pick a bunch of those, and then you get X amount of money from whatever like there's a minimum. So like the trip to Greece, $3,000 minimum.
Yeah.
Trip to Panama City for $800, not worth it to me. I was like, no, I'm not going. So, although $800 would have been a bargain because nobody else bid on it. So that would have been nice. So yeah, but the thing is that they put this website out and they were like, hey, you can go bid ahead of time.
Yeah.
And then at the site, they had printed out pages that explained like what was in the physical gifts and then what all the travel stuff was.
Yeah.
And they have QR codes.
Yeah.
The average age of people at this gala was about 65.
Everybody has problems with QR codes.
So I'm like, I'm talking to like a 70-year-old lady and she's like, how do I do this? And I said, do you have a smartphone? Yes. And I was like, if you go get it, you have to also bring the credit card. But if you go get it, I will help you like do the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like you have to create an account and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, okay. And then there was the complaining. Some guy was like, do you really think that people are going to do this? Look at how old everybody is here. And I'm like, well, your wife is just bidding her little heart out on everything. So yeah, clearly she knows how to do it.
Yeah.
So it was cute. I mean, the complaints are kind of annoying, or people asking questions about the actual items. And I'm like, I am here in a technical capacity. But yeah, I mean, Mom asked outright, do you guys want to do it? And I couldn't say no. If Birthday Tour had stayed on the 9th, then I would have had to say no. But so she's good about that stuff at least.
Yeah.
She doesn't spring shit on me.
Yeah, it's just, I'm like, I don't, I just ask. Just like, talk like a normal human being.
And like you've ever just been like, no.
Yeah.
I won't.
Right. Like, well, and that's the thing.
Like, I mean, you don't treat your parents like you're too busy for them either. So I'm like,
which, I mean, they know I'm busy a lot and like I have a lot of stuff going on, but I'm always like, I'm very upfront with them about it. And I'm like, I can't do this here because I've got this, or this. It's like, but I'm free on this day. So how about we do that day? Okay, great.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, so just fucking ask, man. I'm like, even if I would have said, oh, I've got a thing at like 3:00, then okay. Then it would have been like, okay, but it's currently 1:00. So we have time to do lunch and to cut your hair. But instead it was like,
yeah, if we do all of this with intention.
Yeah. I'm like, because instead I'm like, originally we were going to meet at 2:00. And I was like, okay, well, I got out of my pedicure and it's like 1:00. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to Old Navy real quick. I've got time before I have to go get home, right? So I'm in there shopping and then I get the phone call and then I'm like, well, it's 1:20 now. And now I got to text Mindy and be like, hey, can we push this back to 3:00? Because he's already in Miamisburg.
Did you get anything at Old Navy?
I did. I got 2 dresses and 2 pairs of flip-flops here. Look, I got these
The dollar flip-flops.
I got the dollar flip-flops and then I got these things.
Oh, okay. The little rubber Birkenstock.
They're kind of weird. But they like hug your feet. And I was like, I kind of like this. But I will say, I've only been wearing them for like maybe 10 minutes.
Make it a blister, not know it.
I know. But they, around the part where the straps are, it's like really heavy plastic, like heavy duty.
Yeah.
And but it's like soft rubbery plastic. And it like hugs your foot really nice, which is nice and comfy.
That's good.
But then the front, when you're walking, it feels like the front of it is like flapping and like thin. And I'm like, I feel like the front's going to like bust off at some point.
Oh, yeah. You're probably going to catch it on stuff and like fold it under your foot.
Mm-hmm.
What are you drinking?
This is a Von Wilhelm. Wait, let's see if I can say it correctly. Von Wilhelm Spotless Riesling.
Sounded very German.
No, it's not. I can't do accents. Actually, that's not true. I can do American accents, but I can't do.
You can do an American accent. Good job.
I can do all the American accents.
Dialect.
Yeah. Yeah, dialects, is that what they are?
Yeah.
I can do all those, but I can't do, like, international accents.
That's awesome.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah, it's a little bit
I
of
guess
sweet
dialects or something. I can't do northern stuff, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, what was the beer that you had?
All right, so this was a Brink Brewing Company Summertide Cream Ale with lime, which I really like the flavor of. But it doesn't seem like a cream ale to me. It's very hoppy.
Yeah, my kind of go-to cream ale is the Warped Wing Ermels.
Yeah.
No matter what flavor. I like the Ermels.
Yeah.
But then when I was drinking it one day, I was like, my parents used to drink cream ales because they used to drink Genesee.
Okay.
Genesee cream ale and these something Big Mouth. I don't know. But like it was a thing in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
And, it's nothing new, but I think people aren't used to it. So they're like, ooh, this new craft beer. And I'm like, no, I just had a flashback to childhood and a bunch of little green Big Mouth bottles hanging around.
Yeah. Cream ales have been around a long time.
Yeah.
Although I guess now maybe they're making it differently because it tastes like an IPA to me.
That company might be doing that differently.
That's true.
Because I kind of like how thick and frothy, not frothy, but it feels heavy in your mouth.
Yeah. I do like that.
I like the mouth feel.
But I really like the lime
Sounds
flavor. You
gross.
just don't like the lime flavor. Yeah. Yeah, that does sound kind of icky.
Things you say about wine and beer that
Yeah. Well,
are disgusting.
I say anything. I'm drinking out of the bottle because I don't have a cup up here. I was too lazy to go downstairs and get one.
That's all right. Oh, we got these cool new koozies. We got a 4-pack of these at Costco.
Oh,
they fit all kinds of bottles. And then there's a bottle opener on the bottom.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, so it's super fun. Except you can't. I thought that like you would only need it just screw off to put a can in it. But yeah, you can't. I can pull the bottle out of here, but you
can't put it in.
It's really hard to force in there. That's what she said.
Well, that's nice though. It kind of keeps it all together. It's not going to fall out.
Yeah. So, and they're cheaper than bottle keepers because I bought him bottle keepers one year. So like for talls and cans and whatever, and I don't even know where those are. I don't. Either of us know where those are.
Yeah. I have so many like paraphernalia for cups and bottles and wine and beer and everything. I need to start going through and actually like, I don't know, sorting and getting rid of certain things and which wine glasses do you want to keep? Which wine? And the problem is like I have a ton of wine glasses, but like I have a set of wine glasses that all match, right?
Oh, okay.
But I don't particularly care for those glasses. But like I don't want to get rid of them because they're the only set I have that actually matches. You know what I mean?
How garage sale.
Oh, well, that's the thing. But I'm like, okay, so do I just get rid of the matching glasses and keep all the rando ones that I just like? And never have matching wine glasses?
We need to do another one of those things at the place across from or behind Star City. So instead of doing like the festival, like charge people to come in and like charge them $10 or whatever and set up a yard sale.
Do a whole yard sale. That would actually be pretty awesome.
You get a 10 by 10. You can put up your own tent thing if you want. But yeah, just like a giant yard sale.
Hell, I don't even think we need to charge people.
No, you got to get some money somehow. Yeah.
Make them buy drinks.
Yeah.
Well, we could charge them, then give them a drink ticket.
There you go.
Yeah.
So $20, here's a drink ticket.
Yeah.
It's technically only paid $14.
Yeah. I feel like that's worthwhile.
It's reasonable.
Yeah.
Because some people like you live on a main drag.
Yeah, it's hard.
And then you live on an alley. So how the hell would anybody get to your front yard or your backyard without
I will say the past 2 years I have had a garage sale during they do like a big community weekend where it's like community garage sales. And I did it the past 2 years and this year I opted out because they do it Friday, Saturday. They do it on a Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand. Because
I don't either. I always see signs out for garage sales on like Thursdays or Fridays and they're like 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Who are you just are you going for retirees? Is that what you're doing?
I'm like, I don't understand because like the Friday, now granted the past 2 years, what I did was my mom came up and would run the garage sale on Friday, and I'd work from home. So that way, if there was any questions, I'd be available, but like I wasn't running it. And then Saturday I would. I'm like, this is so stupid, which is why I didn't do it this year. Because I'm like, why wouldn't you do it on a Saturday and Sunday?
Yeah.
And I realize not everybody works a Monday through Friday job, but
Or
like
just a Saturday.
the majority of the people do. And so
we guys got like 95 churches around here, though. So I guess Sunday makes sense. You start that at like
That's
11
true.
o'clock and people are pouring out.
yeah, people are very against doing things on Sunday here. And I'm like, okay, whatever, guys. But yeah, so I did that the past couple of years. And I will say, even though I'm on a busy street, I did pretty good.
Well, that's good. Well, I mean, I think if the whole neighborhood's doing it.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Because I think people were parking on side streets and just walking around and everything else. So, like, I mean, that works.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, no. We did one giant garage sale one year before we went to Myrtle Beach.
Mm.
And we could do another one at this point. Like,
Yeah.
we have too much stuff.
Yeah.
We have too much stuff for the house that we have, and we're not finding a house that we want. So, and we can't afford a house now because Honey ordered a Tesla.
Did he order it? He was talking about it.
Something, a performance something. Somebody else will know, but it's like a long distance one. Like you can go 400 miles on a charge.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
Yeah. And then apparently Tesla has an app that tells you where all the chargers are. His sister, the house that they bought has 2 fast chargers
Oh, nice.
in the garage, and his brother-in-law was like, his brother-in-law and sister were like, if you guys come out and visit, you can have one. I'm like, all right, well, we've got a car that doesn't need gas now, so
Nice.
but we will have. Delivery time is someplace between August and January.
Seriously, they can't narrow it down.
I mean, as it gets closer, maybe.
Okay. But they literally were like, it'll be between August and
Well,
January.
I'm saying August to January because it was August to October, and then he gets an email that says November to January. So let's just call it August to January.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We were hoping that he ordered a very particular color. So
Yeah.
I'm guessing that most people get like the silver, the gray, the black.
Yeah.
He ordered the blue. It's a really nice blue.
Yeah.
He likes blue.
Hey.
Might as well not get something common.
You're going to be driving around in it all the time. You might as well like it.
Right. But then, I don't know how many blue cars are available.
Yeah, that's true.
No, so he got that. I'm going to order. I would decide. I think I'm going to lease. I'm going to order a 2023 Telluride. I think
you have to at this point because I feel like I have heard that word a lot.
Yeah.
And you're the only one that ever says it. So I know that means you've talked about it a lot.
Yeah.
Which means you need to buy one because
I desperately want one.
you're very obsessed with it.
Because you have to order one. To lease it, you have to order it. You can't lease one that's on the lot. And somebody explained it to me, and I was like, it's still stupid. But
How? So, but like, what's the
Because
difference then
you're-
between leasing and owning it if you have
because
to order it?
you're not something about you're not paying the dealership when you lease it. You're leasing it from something else. It's not the dealership
Like
who would
the
get the money. It's,
manufacturer?
or something like that.
Interesting.
I don't know. People try and explain stuff to me after I've been drinking, and I'm like, is that really? Is this the conversation that you want to have with me?
Is this the correct time? Do you think that this is the time I'm going to remember and or understand, comprehend anything that you're saying to me?
I'm like, I mean, and I remember things. I was at my cousin's house, and my niece, not her daughter, but my niece was there getting her hair cut. She got a cute little mullet. Like one of those shaggy mullets that all the kids have now.
No.
Not like one of the mullets I had in 8th grade.
I can't remember if I had it. Oh, yeah, I definitely had a mullet. I think I was in like super early elementary school though.
Yeah, because they would have been, they were a big thing when I was in like 8th grade. Then you perm the back and cut the front real short.
Oh, no. That was.
It was legit party in the back.
Mine was not a style choice. Mine was my sister cut my hair. And that was the only style they could make it into. And then we had matching haircuts because my mom got so mad that my sister cut my hair.
She made her cut.
No, my mom literally cut her pigtails off. So then she also had a mullet. She wasn't supposed to have the scissors and stuff, and she cut my hair, and my hair was all jacked up. And so then my mom just like chopped her pigtails off, and then we had to go to the barber shop, and everybody got the same haircut.
I have a story to relate to that, but going on the other thing, my cousin has always said, she says that I have a photographic memory. I do not. But what I remember, I can't forget. Like there are things that, and for me, it takes a very small trigger for me to like, remember something. So my niece was talking about Modern Family. And she was like, I loved Cam and Mitchell, and I was so upset to find out that Mitchell wasn't actually gay. She goes, I don't know how he did it so well. And I was like, oh, well, Eric Stone Street has said before he was imitating his mother. So that's just how he did it. She was like, well, I thought they were the best couple. And then we started going into, like, oh, do you remember like one of my favorite scenes is them locking their daughter in the car and they're calling like the police or they're calling OnStar or whatever it is. Yeah. And Mitchell is running toward the car with a garbage can over his head, like they were at a park or something. So he's grabbed a garbage can and he's like, Lily, I'm coming to save you. The woman on the phone goes, sir, can you tell your wife to calm down? And he was like, this is not my wife. And then some neighbor thing between Gloria and Jake was telling the guy, like, you're causing a disturbance, you're noisy about this, that, and the other. You probably remember this, and you're noisy about this, that, and the other. And the guy said, I don't say anything to you about that damn bird that you have. And he's like, bird? And so then they do a montage of Gloria going, Jake! Jake! Yay! So we're going through all of this, and my cousin's just like, how do you remember these things? And I was like, I don't know, and I wish I could tell you, because people look at you so weird when you're like, I remember 95 things from these episodes. Do you remember this episode? They're like, no, I don't. Why would you? And I was like, I don't know.
You know what? I've always, so when I was younger, I would comatose into TV.
Yeah.
So before, like, DVRs and all that other shit, I used to have, like, the TV schedule memorized Monday through Friday, like, every night, like, what was on at 6, 6:30, 7, 7:30, like, what channels they were on. I thought there were different channels and things, TV shows I wanted to watch. I had all that shit memorized. And I would watch TV, and I could, like, tell you everything that happened in every episode of everything that I ever watched. But, like, having a conversation with somebody, I'm like, what? When did that happen? And I don't know if it's just so, like, my family members would always make fun of me because of, like, when I was sitting there watching TV, like, people could come in and talk to me and I wouldn't even know somebody was in the room. Like, I, like, tunnel vision comatose into television when I'm watching TV. I'm, like, so engrossed and sucked into it that it's like, I don't know anything else that's going. It could be like, there'd be like a tornado hitting the house and the roof would be coming off. And as long as the TV was still going and the show was on, I would not even recognize it.
I do that, but it's more on purpose because I'll be watching something and it's like something that you have to be watching. Yeah. So I am into all of these British crime dramas. And hey, if you want recommendations, hit me up on Twitter.
Oh, have you watched Death in Paradise?
Yes, I've watched all of it.
Oh, I haven't gotten to see the last, like, I feel like there's a couple of seasons that I haven't seen at the end. Yeah, I saw the beginning of Nigel, but I don't think I've seen, like, the rest of it.
Oh, there's season 11 is on BritBox.
That's why.
Yeah.
Because I was watching it was on Netflix for a really long time. And I got through, like, I want to say, there's probably a few, maybe Nigel isn't the one I'm thinking of. Who's the tall, skinny kid?
That's Chris. I know what his name is. I can't remember what his name on the show was, but it's, if you guys watched Love Actually, he's the guy that goes to America to fall in love with an American girl. And I can't remember what his name is. It's Chris something.
So he was the last one, I think. I think he was the last one that I saw. So I think I made it to like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because 9, 10, 11 is Nigel.
Okay, so then I didn't make it to Nigel, but I think I was getting close to the end of...
Yes, Chris's ends, and then there's another guy after
that
him.
The one with the daughter?
Yes.
Okay, so I've seen him then, but I didn't see the end of him.
Okay, so when he leaves, Nigel takes over for him.
Okay, so then I haven't seen any of Nigel, and I'm probably missing maybe the second half of the last season of the guy before.
I was heartbroken when, I should look up his name, I was heartbroken when the first one was killed. Oh, I'm like, why would you kill him?
I know.
Like, there's no opportunity for him to visit. Right. Like, you just killed him.
So awful.
But the best character is Harry. The lizard.
Yes, the lizard's fantastic.
And I always like, who's the restaurant owner, the bar owner?
Oh, yeah.
Not Camille. I forget what her name is.
She was the French mom, lady.
Though. Yeah. She was, Florence's mom.
Yeah. I loved her.
I loved her too. And like some of the guy that you're on now.
Yeah.
There comes a point in time where like they kind of have a discussion because they were always flirty with each other or whatever. And they have a discussion and, sorry, not not giving anything away, but it kind of one of those why did it never happen kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think she brought it up, and he was like, "Oh, I knew from the time that I met you that I couldn't handle you." He was like, "I'm just not man enough for you."
I mean, at least he recognized.
What's his daughter's? Siobhan. Yeah, I love that. I think it's an Irish name or something like that.
I thought it was super cute, him and his daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like even though they kept switching out, like, the detective kind of a thing, like,
Yeah, I mean,
I
it
really
keeps it
liked all of them.
interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
we watched Doctor Who, and we put up with that.
That's true. That's true. Which I think I'm done with. I feel like, did Jodie Whittaker... I know
She's done.
She's done, and I think I saw the very end of her run, but
I haven't
have they
yet.
started the new one yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
I think in October or November he comes on. So they do have a Black British character. I know who he is. I know what he's been in. I'm going to have to Google it, so bear with me. I'm still very upset that Craig Ferguson is not in Doctor Who. Is Doctor Who? I'm very annoyed with it. And every time I tweet about it, people are like, because I'm like, at Craigie Ferg, and I add him to it. I'm like, why would I hashtag him just to fucking want you to be the Doctor? And there's always people who are like, I absolutely agree.
Well, here's my thing, though, too. Like, and I understand bringing in diversity and everything else, and I think that's great. But now that they've done and this is spoiler alerts, kind of, if you haven't kept up with Doctor Who, since they brought in the Timeless Child thing, I feel like there's a whole wide world of opportunities to have all kinds of new Doctor Who's all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, even his guest appearances.
Right.
Like, he could be a doctor that's a guest appearance one
The
time.
book series doesn't follow anything with the show, which is, that's fine, but, oh, crap. The new Doctor, I should know this as I'm getting an entire sleeve of Doctor Who.
Hey, look, instead of you having to do this on your phone, we have giant monitors we can look at now.
I can't pronounce his name, but he was the star of Sex Education, which is a British show, I believe. I think it's Nikuti Gatwa.
Succeeded by... Okay.
Yeah, Nikuti Gatwa. Yeah, so...
I'm gonna Google.
You're gonna Google him so you can see the picture? There he is.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Oh, he's from Rwanda.
Oh, Rwanda. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, he's adorable.
he is so cute.
So I'm going to be curious. I'm always curious about their personality, like what they come with, because I just saw...
oh my God, he was born in 92. He's going to be a young doctor.
Oh my God. It's painful. But Matt Smith was young when he was doing it, I think.
Oh, probably.
Matt Smith might have even been in his 20s.
Let's look.
This adds a whole new dimension.
It really
You guys get
does.
to listen to us Google stuff.
Okay, so Matt Smith was my doctor. He's who I started with. Because I was watching, all of a sudden, I turned on, like, I think it was like TNT or TBS one time. And, like, he was the one playing the doctor when I first started watching.
He's weirdly attractive, even though his nose is very strange.
Yeah, he's, like, you wouldn't, I feel like
He was born in 1982, but he was, when was he in Doctor Who?
Let's see here. Doctor Who from 2010 to 2014.
So how old were you in 2010?
21? No. Yes. No. 31. No. Wait.
No. 2010.
I'm getting my...
How old were you 12 years ago?
I'm getting my high school
25?
graduation year and my birth year mixed up.
You were 25.
83. So I was 20...
24, 25.
25, yeah.
Okay, so he was like 26 when he was doing it.
All right.
So he's a baby.
Wait, now I need to think another second. Did we do the math right? Because 80 to 2000 would have been 20 years, so that was 18.
He started it in 2010.
18, so 28. He was 28.
28, okay.
So he's 28, yeah.
Just people are screaming.
That's, in my brain, I was like, people right now are probably listening to this going, how can you not do that math? It's so easy. I was like, wait, I need to go back and look at these numbers.
You should come play darts with us, and
Oh
you'll
my
find out
God.
how we can't do the math.
Darts is the
We
worst.
legit will be standing there, and you will score 70 points. And then the score is 372, and you're standing there going, 370, 372, 302. Is 302 right?
Oh, I've just given
302?
I've given up at this point. Because when I'm even trying to add up, like, what my score is, like, if you hit a triple, like, by now you would think I would have, like, how much triple 18, triple 19, triple 17 is worth. But, like, those are all things that I don't hit very often. So every time I do, I stare at the board. And right now I play with all these dudes who've been playing darts for like 20 years.
Yeah.
I literally look up and then turn around and go, triple 18? Anyone? And then they'll just start yelling numbers at me. And I'm like, okay.
We'll have to come up on a Thursday one time because I have no idea who's playing.
Yeah. So it's kind of all new people. And
Any of the guys from last season?
yes.
Okay.
You
The
probably-
tall one and his
Mike.
brother?
Yeah. You know Mike enough.
They don't listen. We can talk about it.
Yeah. And then
I feel like Mike listened to one episode and was like, fuck these bitches.
you probably know Tim.
I know Tim. We played with Tim last year.
Tim,
or
Mike,
last season.
and Dawn are on it. And then there's 2 Chris's.
Chris is from any of the teams that we used to play?
I don't know. I'll be honest. We have to play another team at least like every
So does
other
one
week
of the
for, like, a
Chris's
year
does
for
one
me
of
to
the
figure them
Chris's have to leave early all the time?
out. Don't know.
Okay. Because
I'll
there
be
was
honest, I've only played one.
there was a Chris on Mike and Don's old team.
Oh, okay.
An older guy, bald.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Well,
Older
yes.
guy, bald, heavy set.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So he always cuts out before I think at 10. He's done. He's out.
Okay. Then maybe, yeah.
He's a pumpkin.
Yeah, and then they started it later this year too. They used to start at 7:00, and now they're like, "Oh, it's summer. We're starting at 7:30." And I'm like,
Yeah, I saw that they were like, we're starting at 8. And apparently there was a revolt.
"I'm like, why would you start?
We don't get
Why?
out of there before 11 when you start at 7.
I know. I'm like,
It's because we're bad at darts.
right? If you're really good, you get out of there earlier. But I'm like, just because it's summertime doesn't mean my bedtime changes. Like, I'm sorry. Like, not everybody is a school child.
I do kind of like it when we would play the Minions because we were definitely done by 10:30
Oh yeah.
because they whipped our ass.
Well, and not only that, but also they were very nice, and we used to have like food get-togethers and
Yeah.
gatherings. We'd all bring food and stuff. So
Yeah.
it was fun.
Excuse me. So that just goes back to doing math. So there you go.
there's Lots of bad math.
So yeah, no, I think he picks up in 2020 at the end of 2022 or 2023. And now that it's on HBO Max, it's just confused me. And
Nice.
but no, on Amazon Prime, sign up for BritBox and Acorn. It's like $5 a month or something like that.
That's not bad.
And I will tell you all of the things to watch. So Jodie Whittaker, I did not know her before Doctor Who.
Yeah.
But there was, and I always meant to go back and watch the English version. There was a show that was one season. There was a point in time, like a few years ago, that like they would just make like 13 episodes of something and it was done. It was very British of them.
Do a lot of miniseries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a series or a one season series called Grace Point, and David Tennant was in it. Did an American accent.
I mean, I'll watch it just for that.
I know. But just don't bother watching Grace Point because it's based off of a British series called Broadchurch, and he plays the same character. And the first season is the exact same between Grace Point and Broadchurch.
Okay, so Broadchurch was on Netflix for a really long time. It might not still be on there, but it might be if it is. Yeah, because it's on my list. I think
Yeah,
I added.
it's
to
worth
my
it.
list 'cause
It's
I
3
thought they were
seasons.
tenant, yeah.
It's way better. The British version is way better. And then he has his original accent. So he has his Scottish accent, which is a little difficult to understand when he talks quickly. Because he, I don't know if he's exaggerating his Scottish accent or if that's just how he normally talks and he toned it down for Doctor Who. But
Yeah.
I was struck. I always have the subtitles on.
Oh, I always.
Which
have
I feel
subtitles.
bad because I'm like, I have subtitles for English.
Yeah, I have subtitles for everything.
And
Everything has
sometimes
subtitles.
they'll use phrasing that I'm like, I have no idea what you just said. But I love that they can curse in British series because I was like, this is on TV. They say fuck a lot.
Nice.
But yeah, Broadchurch, really good. And then I've got a whole series of things that I was watching. The Murdoch Mysteries, I'm about to give up on.
I feel
It's
like I've heard of that.
Murdoch Mysteries. It's set in the late 1800s, early 1900s. It's in Canada. It's annoying because it's a little exaggerated and
Yeah.
it's not a very serious thing, but they've
Okay.
got great characters in it,
Yeah.
which is why I keep coming back.
Yeah.
But it sporadically has new episodes.
Okay.
Death in Paradise I was doing, or I still do. And then there's just a bunch that I've picked up here and there.
So is Death in Paradise done now, though?
No.
Oh, so they're still going to keep going.
I mean, we can look. I think that there's going to be a season 12.
Ooh.
But there's only 8 episodes in every season, which is annoying. And they're one of the ones who do not do hour-and-a-half episodes. So it kind of sucks.
Yeah, because theirs are only like hour
Just put
episodes,
in
right?
Death in Paradise season 12 and it will tell you if it was renewed.
Let's see here.
It's going to be the most boring episode we've ever had.
I know, it's lots of Googling. Season 12, cast, plot, and everything we know. Ooh, it's
Great.
confirmed.
Confirmed. There you go.
All right.
Yeah, so that'll be 2023 before it comes back out.
His name's Neville.
Neville, not Nigel. Sorry.
No, but Neville's so cute. It wasn't there a mouse named Neville in some movie or something?
Melvin? Feifel?
Feifel? Maybe I'm thinking Feifel. Neville, Feifel. I mean, it's got L's in it. It's all the same. It's fine.
Oh, I can't remember the song, but I used to do the song from Feifel Goes West in my very high-pitched voice. Something about we're both looking at the same sky or the same star or whatever, but I would do it in like the squeaky voice, like of Feifel.
Oh, yeah, because he has the little, like, kid, like... Did a kid actually, like,
I don't
voice
know.
that?
I don't
feel
know.
like that's, like...
Because like Elmo isn't done by a kid. Elmo's my favorite one to do. I'm going to back away from the mic so it's not loud, but la 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 la, la 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 la, Elmo's world.
Oh, my God.
Elmo likes to color. I used to do that all because it gets stuck in your head after a while. And the one office that I worked in, I thought they were going to.
I didn't understand that.
You don't have to understand it. It wasn't for you.
This is my problem lately. This is the problem. It just... Like, and I know I can turn off the voice recognition thing, but I don't want to because I want it...
Just turn the volume all the way down.
I want it to be there for when I actually want to, like, you know, use it. But for some reason, and I don't know if it's Bixby or Google or Alexa, because I got them all on here.
It's probably Google because I've got Bixby disabled.
Oh, okay.
And she does it. Anyway, I used to get that stuck in my head. And then Fritos I used to drive one of my coworkers nuts because this would get stuck in her head. Fritos had an incredibly racially insensitive commercial back in the 70s or 80s. And it was, I am the Frito Bandito.
Oh,
And I used to know the whole song, but I used to just unconsciously walk around the office going, ay. Makes you a horrible human being.
no.
Oh my God. I was going to ask you, so you do Marvel.
Yeah.
I had posted on Twitter because I wanted to see Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Because it looked fun.
Yeah.
But I was like, is it one of those things that you, like, I know who his ex-girlfriend is. I
Right.
know who Loki is. I know who people are.
Yeah.
But I was like, do I have to know the plot of anything in order to enjoy this movie?
Right.
Like, is it, like, do you have to understand something from an earlier movie other than who the characters are?
Yeah.
And then our friend at Voluntary Input said, and somebody else was like, it's not a standalone movie. It actually is like it follows Thor Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I hate to tell you how far behind we are. And our friend was like, it's blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, well, I've never seen Thor Ragnarok. We watched Agent Carter. My husband has seen Iron Man, and I saw Thor. So that's all we have to go on. Yeah. And I hated the movie Thor because it seemed like the only purpose of that movie was to introduce 3 characters. And they didn't even keep the character that I liked, which is Kat Dennison.
Kat Denning?
Kat Denning. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, no.
Is she still in it? Okay.
She's still around. She was actually in WandaVision.
Oh, was she?
Yeah.
She's fantastic.
Love her.
Do you ever watch her show Dollface?
No.
No, not Dollface. Yeah, Dollface.
I saw her TV show. Oh, Two
I
Broke
get her
Girls.
confused with Russian Doll, which is that one chick.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Dark hair, lots of different.
Curly hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was the girl on Orange Is the New Black that got all the ladies. Yeah, it's Dollface.
I used to watch Two Broke Girls when she was on.
I like Two Broke Girls, but man, they went for every cheap joke that they could get.
They really did.
And it's Whitney Cummings.
Yeah.
Is the one who wrote. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm being gross.
Yeah.
Whitney Cummings is the one who wrote it, and I'm okay with her comedy.
Yeah.
This sounds so sexist, and I apologize. Female comedians are hit or miss for me.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to constantly hear about, like, I don't like it when dudes do constant dick jokes either, because I'm like, that's so one note.
Yeah.
And I don't want to constantly hear like the body. At a point, I don't find it funny anymore.
Right.
Just like Amy Schumer, I'm like, quit talking about your fucking vagina because I'm so, like, it used to be for shock value and now it's just old.
Right.
Talking about it. I don't think your vagina is old, but
right.
talking about it. So yeah, we watch Two Broke Girls too, but sometimes I'm like, you can predict the jokes that are happening or they're very like, but I'm bunch through the entire thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I used to watch Whitney too when it was on, but it was similar.
I did too, and I really feel bad that I liked Chris D'Elia back then, but I don't think he was trying to bang 16-year-old girls at that time.
Oh, I didn't hear about any of that.
Oh, that's why you never hear about him anymore. Is that he was like Instagram or doing DMing like underage girls.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And I mean, I think some of them were kind of talking back to him, but like you're 17, you really have no idea about what kind of predator somebody who is 2 or 3 times your age is.
Like how, I don't like, what is that? Like dudes that get famous all of a sudden like start, and granted, it's not all dudes. I'm not saying this is generally, but I feel like there's a certain like sect of human beings that it was like, you know, were they always like this, or was it like as soon as they started getting famous, they were like, ooh, now I can get all this.
No, I think they were creeps originally.
Yeah,
especially a lot of the dudes that you're like, it is mostly dudes. A lot of the dudes that you're like, but you didn't like pull a lot of ass in high school.
Yeah,
now you're like, I'm famous. I can bang whoever I want.
Yeah,
look what I can do.
So gross.
Well, and then we went and saw. So we went together. 6 of us went to go see Stephen Lynch on his new tour. And he did a few, if you have the opportunity to see Stephen Lynch, go look up his tour dates.
Oh my God, please do it.
Because if you listen to his music, you have to see him live at least one time. Otherwise you don't. I think once you see him live, you can always picture what he may be doing during a song, like especially live songs. And so I really do think you have to see him live. And he was hilarious. He had new songs out. That one guy who called out, I want Rod's job. So Rod is one of his recording partners, and he kept going on and off stage. So he'd like come out for a song, leave for 2 songs, come out for a song, and some guy yelled, I want Rod's job. And Stephen Lynch was like, don't say that too fast.
Yeah.
You have no idea what's about to come up next. And then the song was about like doing yoga just so you can suck your own dick.
Oh God.
And Rod comes out and sits in like, I forget what that pose is, but like that lotus pose. He sits in lotus with a mic between his legs and is simulating giving himself a blowjob.
Which was hilarious.
Oh my God. And so he, and our one friend Jody was on the end, and I could not see her face, but I knew 100% at every song because she has never seen him or heard him except for at my wedding.
Oh my gosh.
And I knew 100% at the end of that she was going, oh my goodness. She said that was the funniest thing. That was the funniest one to her, but he was fantastic. But he also is not afraid to. So Dave Chappelle really was like, if you're going to let like, you know, Louis C.K. jerking off in front of you ruin your dreams of comedy, then were they really dreams? Whereas Stephen Lynch was like making fun of him hardcore.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's one thing. If you go see Stephen Lynch, he is 100% as liberal as I am. So I'm not sure where you want to fall on that scale, but like I lean hard left.
Yeah.
And he was like, he was picking on the Supreme Court for overturn, because we went on the 23rd, so we knew it was going to be overturned.
Yeah.
Picking on it from that, talking about, women don't have any choices about what they want to do anyway. Picking on Louis C.K.
Yeah, he leaned hard in that one. But yeah, it was funny. And he even, like, the Louis C.K. thing, he was like, God, he like prefaced it with basically saying, okay, so when I wrote this at the time, there was other information and then some more information has come out. So like, and I just was too lazy and I haven't changed the words. So just like, go with it for right now. Eventually.
Oh yeah. Him jerking off in front of his assistants had not come out yet.
Right. And so then he finished the song and he goes, I think it's still relevant.
Yeah, he does. Oh my gosh. Cause he opened with Omaha. And I feel like telling people about songs isn't like really a spoiler. He opened with Omaha, and it's about a safe word. It's about him forgetting his safe word while he's being fisted by a dominatrix.
Yeah, it's kind of fantastic.
And oh my God, when he's like, is it chair? Is it door? And he's like, no, I'm just naming shit in the room. Oh my God, it was fantastic. The time machine, let's go kill babies.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, not
Well, he's talking about killing like Hitler and,
Mussolini and stuff like that.
Yeah, that kind of shit.
And
Which, I mean, still saying killing babies.
I don't know. There were some current people too that he was like, I don't know, like if he mentioned like Scott Stape or something like that.
Well, there was at one point he was like, and I can't mention this one because I'll get arrested.
Oh yeah, because he was talking about going back and killing baby DJT.
Yeah.
And we're all like,
Which
yay!
he didn't say, but he inferred.
He inferred. Dead sexy is hilarious.
Yeah.
His partner's like, who do you find sexually attractive? And he's naming all these dead. He was like, the mom from Everybody Loves Raymond. Really? He's like, these women are all dead. He's like, I know. He kind of infers that he would dig them up too.
I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of a...
So that was fantastic. That is third time that I've seen him in concert.
Yeah. So that was only the second time I'd ever seen him, which it was great because the first time I saw him, he didn't have anybody with him.
Oh, yeah.
It was just by himself. And I will say the whole concert, I was kind of waiting to like see if he would sing any of the old stuff that I knew really well, like from back in the day.
Oh, and he even said that when he first walked out, he was like, we're going to sing some songs. So he was like, it's 7:00 or it's 7:30. We're going to sing songs for like an hour and a half. We're going to leave the stage. We're going to come back, or we're going to sing songs for an hour. We're going to leave the stage. Like we're going to leave the building, and then you're going to be like, yay, more. And then we're going to come back out on stage and do another hour. So just to let you know how the evening is going to go.
Yeah. And it was nice because then they sang some of the older stuff too, but there were a few of them that I was curious about, and he didn't sing. And he even said at the beginning, he's like, there's some songs that some of you might want me to sing, but I am not going to because they've not aged well.
They've not aged well, and I also think that a lot of them haven't, because he said they're difficult to sing. Mm-hmm. And I think he had a higher voice. It happens. Oh, yeah. I mean, he had a higher voice when he hit higher notes 10, 20 years ago. But he did do a lot of the favorites. He did D&D. He did Tiny Mustache, which Honey and I find hysterical, which we're not. But there's a line in it about you wrote something on our 5th anniversary card. And I'm like, I have it in my calendar for 5 years to buy Honey an anniversary card and write that in the anniversary card. Oh my God. So speaking of the fact that Honey was raised Jewish, which by the way, I was reading something and it just never dawned on me that like being Jewish is saying that you're Jewish is not, or is a faith and an ethnicity. Yeah. So he's mostly the ethnicity. Because he doesn't do a lot of temple anymore, at all. So, we were at a memorial service on Saturday, and we had to do that before we went and helped out at the charity for the old folks. And so everything was great. Everybody's doing something. And then the gentleman who lost his wife, his sister came up and was like, and she witnessed to everybody and was like, this woman, she was, close to Jesus, and you just, you have to like come to Jesus and know his love so that you can be with the everlasting Father in the kingdom of heaven. And the way to do that is through Jesus. And I looked over at my husband and went, you're just going to be floating around. You can't get in. And then the minister came up and like kind of did the same thing. And then he like asked if anybody would want to be saved. And I was like, oh, not the place, man.
Seriously?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I've only seen that in church, and then at somebody's wedding when I was like 21, before they even did the vows, the minister was like, we would like to invite anybody who wants to be saved to come down and like confess your sins and
like was the wedding couple, like the people getting married okay with that?
It was her church, so I'm assuming so. The husband probably wasn't, because he could give a crap about religion. Like, it was a dry reception, but all the groomsmen were shit-faced on Jack Daniels.
Oh, yeah.
And the groom.
I'm sorry.
The groom was swaying hardcore.
The only thing dry weddings do is make everyone carry a flask and start drinking like straight up liquor that's high proof rather than having a 4% beer. So everybody's going to get more shit faced more quickly.
So before the wedding, one of my friends was like helping. One of them was doing the guest book. One of them was doing something else, but they weren't bridesmaids.
Yeah.
So they both come out. So I get a phone call because I have my little Nokia candy bar phone. I had a phone call that said, can you and your date bring alcohol? And I was like, sure. So we get a cooler, we pack it with down home punch because that was like the big thing back then.
Yeah.
So we show up and they come running out and jump in the car with us. And we're all just shotgunning down home punch. I'm surprised we didn't puke in the church. And then once we got to the reception, they had water and iced tea. Like 2 pitchers of iced tea and then all the water you would want.
Fantastic.
So, and I mean, let's face it, iced tea is just water with tea bags in it. You
really
couldn't afford more tea.
Yeah.
So one of the groomsmen had thought ahead, and this was in the time of Zima. And since we were just going to have water and iced tea, we were going out to his truck and emptying bottles of Zima into our little clear plastic cups. I feel like they screwed us on that one. I think somebody's mom knew that we were going to bring in alcohol and they wanted a clear cup so that they could keep an eye on us, but they had no idea that Zima existed. So we were all shit-faced on down home punch and Zima.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Again, I'm surprised we didn't just vomit all over the place.
That's my thing. I mean, it just encourages people who want to drink and are going to drink anyway to like be sly about it and drink more.
Yeah.
Because you're like taking shots and down and shit and like.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, the groom was swaying at the altar, which just cracked us up. Oh my gosh, not to mention, I think I've said this on here before too, when the minister asked for everybody to come down. We were all 21 and 22, and we started shoving each other out, like trying to shove each other out into the aisle. It was great. I don't think any of the adults appreciated it.
Yeah, well.
Oh, I was going to tell you, what was it that you were cutting your hair? So when I was 3, I was supposed to go to church with the neighbor, and my mom, I had kind of long-ish hair, and my mom put these giant plastic curlers in my hair. They're about the size of orange cans. Yeah. And I hated having my hair curled, even though like they started giving me perms from a very young age.
Oh God.
And so she put these giant orange curler things in my hair, and then she was taking them out. She had taken them out. Or she took out like one side and then I had to go get something in before she took out the other side. So every time she sent me someplace, I would stop back in the bathroom and I would cut off a chunk of hair. I was smart enough at like 3 or I might have been 5. Nope. It had to have been, I was 3 or 4 because we moved to Jamestown when I was 5. So go and just pull hair out from underneath. Yeah. And just cut a chunk off. By the time my mom noticed it, it was when I started cutting upper layers of my hair off.
Oh, God.
And she had to call her friend to come out and give me an emergency haircut. So it was the first pixie I ever had. My mom was furious. And of course, my dad was furious because I made my mom furious. Right. Oh, my God. I got in so much trouble. Oh, my goodness. So I turned 50.
You did turn 50.
Turned 50. My mom and husband gave me a surprise party, which was lovely. Although I wondered what was happening as we were going upstairs to Bennett's. And I was like, oh.
I almost ruined it.
I mean, I wanted to be recognized. Yeah, we'll go over that. Just like, I wanted to be recognized and for it to be kind of special. But also there were a lot of people there. And I was just like, people.
Lots of people.
We were trying to figure out when to record because we were supposed to record last weekend. And we're trying to figure out like Thursday or Friday.
And I think we set originally, I think we were going to do, Thursday or Friday.
So we were going to do, that Friday or that Sunday, or we were talking about, when did we plan on doing it on Sunday? It's probably making noise for me doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to do it on Sunday? Are we going to do it on Monday? And I was like, let's do it on Sunday because then we're off on Monday. And Brandy said, I mean, you might be hungover. And I was like,
okay, but here's the thing. Her actual birthday was on a Saturday. So I was like, I said that not even thinking about it because I was like, I mean, her birthday's on Saturday, right? But then I was like, oh shit, she has a surprise party on Saturday too. So I almost kind of gave it away. She was like, what would I be hungover from? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. It's your birthday.
I'm like, we have no plans. I don't know what you're talking about. So I went and did that. And I posted on Twitter the glasses that I got. So I got a glass, a wine glass, stemless wine glass that said, "Are you 50? Is you 50?" And then there's a box for yes, a box for no. And then the box checked is, "I might be, bitch," or "bitch, I might be." I had a pint glass that was, "I'm 49 plus," and then like somebody giving, like a hand giving the finger. And then the other one that my friend Christina got me, which was an entire story. And she was like, "Before you open this, I want you to know I have had this glass for you for so long." And I think she's had it since the incident happened. It just never came about for a couple of years after the incident. It just never came about that we could get together and that she had given it to me. I was like, "Is this one of my Christmas presents that we didn't exchange?" She goes, "Yeah, probably." So I opened it up, and then on the front of it was "Hobo Robber P." And she said, "I told my kids about the story and they didn't find it very funny." So then we had to tell everybody that was there because I was laughing, and she's like, "Do you remember?" And I was like, "Yeah." So when I bought my house in Dayton, that was 2008. And then in 2010, I come home one night. So I used to have to drive to Mason, which means like it starts to get dark in the fall. It was late fall, early winter. And I come home and I unlock my front door. Now, I had not changed. My house had original doors except for the front door. My house was built in 1923.
Yeah.
So they were just like frame pegged together. And so they would swell in the summertime and they would shrink in the wintertime. And you could very easily just kind of jam the door over to one side or the other.
Yeah.
So, but the front door is a giant steel security door. So I walk in. My parents were working on my house a lot too during the day. So I walk in and my TV, I had one of those first generation HD TVs. So they were like 500 pounds and sat on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
Was pushed out into like the middle of I think somebody tried to take it and then realized it was a 500-pound TV.
And they couldn't.
But it was pushed out into the middle of the room. And my cats didn't come to greet me.
Oh.
And I was like... So I turned on the lights and I called my parents and I'm like, "Were you guys working on the house today?" And they said no. And I was like, "Oh, my house has been broken into."
Yeah.
And I went directly to the back door and I'm kind of like, shit, my cats come running inside. I was more pissed about the fact they let my cats out.
Right.
And I think I caught them in the middle of leaving.
Oh.
So they just left the back door open. Either that or they were just dicks and left my back door open. So I start running around the house. I call the cops and they're like, "Yeah, we've had a shooting and this, that, and the other. We'll be there in like 9 hours. It's like, fine, whatever. They're like, "Don't touch anything." So I'm running around the house looking to see.
Touch anything for 9 hours?
I know. So they had gone through everything in my bedroom, everything in my spare bedroom. They took some jewelry. I didn't have like really great jewelry. So they took some jewelry. They missed some of it. So I've got like something that's like gold plated over silver, but it's still real rubies in it.
Yeah.
Left that there. Because it was tarnished. I think as it was tarnished, they were like, "Meh." So they took my laundry hampers.
Yeah.
And so that they could fill them, they took blankets. They took some clothes. They like took stuff out of my dresser. They took my PlayStation, my rock PlayStation, all of my PlayStation games, my Rock Band guitar. They took all of the food out of my freezer.
Oh, dear God.
They took all of the food out of my cabinets. They took my trash can and took the liner out so that they could, carry more shit out of the house.
Oh, yeah.
They took all of my DVDs. They took my DVD player. No, I didn't have a DVD player because that's what the PlayStation could do. So they just took all kinds of shit. And I'm like, they went through all of the boxes in a closet because I like keep boxes until the warranties are out. They went through everything. But on your way out the back door, they took beer from my refrigerator, and I had a couple of bottles of alcohol that were open in the house.
Yeah.
And one of them was a bottle of scotch. And it was a nice bottle of scotch. I think it was my, not Glenfiddich, Glen something.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Comes in the round box. Yes. It was my Glenlivet. And I had only drank like a quarter of it, maybe half. So here's where the glass comes in. I'm telling this story at work, and I was like, once the cops left that morning, so my dad came and stayed. Once the cops like tried to dust for prints, and they were wearing gloves. I had to like empty. I was emptying the liquor.
Yeah.
And one of the people at work was like, "Why would you empty the liquor?" And I was like, "I don't know if they peed in it." I was like, "I'm not drinking hobo robber pee." So that's where that came from. And we all found it hysterical. Nobody else finds it funny. But I was like, yay, hobo robber pee. And somebody asked about, she was like, yeah, like your house, like the house got broken into once, the garage got broken into 3 times. I was working one morning from home because it was, we were allowed to, for whatever reason. I think the building had lost power, but it was cold out. And I look in my backyard and there is a man in a sleeping bag sleeping between my garage and the neighbor's fence.
Oh, dear God. And
I called the police and they're like, is he alive? And I was like, I'm not going out there. I don't know. You check. And they came and got him and threw his licey blanket in my trash can.
Oh my God.
But I was like, there's a homeless man sleeping behind my house. I was so annoyed. That house sucked so bad. Just the stuff that, God bless whoever is moving into it. It's a little better now, but I was working from home one day and somebody came into my yard and drug my trash can out to the street, out to the alley to go through it.
Okay.
To go through it, to find like cans and stuff like that. So I opened up my window. Like I actually wrote, I'll have to find the poem about it because I did 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, but I did like a verse for what happened. So I throw open the window and I go, put it the fuck back. And they said, just a minute. And I said, not in a minute. Put it the fuck back now. And they just like put it on the sidewalk, the walkway, and just like shoved it past the garage. They didn't even come back up. And I was like, there's an unwritten rule. Anything that's in the alley is yours.
Right.
When I put my trash can in the alley, feel free to go through it. Don't leave shit. But don't come onto my property and drag my trash can away. I was so pissed.
Well, yeah.
You just feel violated. It's not that big of a deal, but I'm like, it's my property, not your property. Somebody came on. I had a window sitting behind the garage. Somebody came and stole that one day. Like, just, you assholes. If I want you to have something, I leave a lot of metal.
Yeah.
Somebody took the toilet that I left out there
Jesus
one time.
Christ.
So I'm like, I put stuff out there. I don't know why you people are stealing it. They're not stealing it. If it's there, it's free and available. But yeah, that house. But anyway, hobo robber pee.
Jesus. Yeah, like you said earlier, I have an alley behind my house, and so like our trash cans and stuff are out there, and I know very well not to leave anything by the garage or outside, because if it is outside of the fence and it is back there, people think it's free game because it's in the alley. And so like, there's always like, they know which day trash day is and stuff. And there's always a couple of trucks that'll drive down the alley like the night before trash day.
Yeah.
And they'll go through anybody's trash, everything else. I mean, it's a whole thing. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. People trash
and that's
pick.
fine. Like, I don't care if they do it, but also like, it makes it so that I have to be very aware that I can't like leave anything out there.
Yeah. I just noticed that my beer is marked October 25th, 2021, the sell-by date.
Oh. Well, that's just a sell-by, not the best buy.
I've been drinking, a lot of stuff, so. Other than the case of shandy that I had in there. I've got Leinenkugel shandy. It's one of my favorites. And I try and hoard some before they quit selling it. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no. Next year, I know that I need to start hoarding if Shock Top makes the pretzel beer again.
Yeah.
I need to go and buy that by the case and then just keep some cases.
Yeah, because that's just their fall beer, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're seasonal. Yeah, so I love the Leinenkugel. I had Diet Peach Snapple, and I was like, that will go good with Captain Morgan's. And we had some Captain Morgan's private stock because it's like 40 proof instead of like the 35 proof that it normally is. So I made myself a cocktail out of that. Tasted like cough syrup. Don't do that.
No.
Yeah, I just tried chugging it down. And then I got myself a Maker's Mark and ginger ale before I came here. So I was trying my hardest. My intent was to wake up and drink beer while I was cleaning the house, but
Yeah, the mimosa and the Bloody Mary were pretty much it. I will say the 4 cherries that I've had while sitting here, I think have done their job. Very well.
Did you eat all the Woodford ones?
No, they're in there too.
I'm going to have to get those and make some old fashions out of them.
Yeah, those are really good.
We went to one of his friend's house for on the 3rd, and they cooked out, did a brisket or whatnot. We ended up playing poker, but one of the guys was making old fashions. And Honey was like, you want one? Because he knows I like them. And I'm like, somebody has to drive us home.
Yeah.
Like, we're not that far. Well, no, it's Germantown, so it's like a 30-minute drive. I was like, nah, like, we're taking back roads. So
Yeah.
somebody has to be aware of what's happening.
Yeah.
Did you guys do anything?
No. Nope. I worked and put together office things, and that's pretty much all I've been doing for.
We did end up seeing you on the 2nd because we brought everybody to the wine shop.
Yes, I was working. I did.
You were running around like you're...
There have been multiple people on vacation because of the 4th.
Yeah.
And so I filled out my timesheet yesterday at the end of the night, which I left the wine shop at like, I don't know, 3:45, 4 o'clock. So, but I filled out my timesheet and I was like, I worked 27 and a half hours this week. Which means,
I mean, anything under 32 is part-time.
well, that's true. But then I was like, that means I worked 77 and a half hours this week. Did I do that math right? Probably not. 67 and a half.
67 and a half. Again. Somebody check that math for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I don't know how you do it. Like, I used to work at Old Navy part-time. I started doing it when I was single, and it was so that I would leave my house, because once I started working from home,
Yeah.
I mean, you shop for the week and then you don't have to go anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And I would not leave the house. I was in like the same pajamas for 2 or 3 days because who was I going to see?
Yeah.
Who cared? So I started working at Old Navy, and it started off as like 10 or 12 hours a week. And then it was 20 hours a week and sometimes 25 hours a week. And it was like, I left twice. When I went back the 3rd time, I said, I will come back. I will not close, and I will not work Sundays.
Yeah.
And so when I came back, like the first night, like 9 o'clock hits and they're closing the store. And I was like, hey, you want to check my bag? Because I'm on my way out. And they were like, we still have closing to do. And I was like, I don't close. I don't stay. Like, I have a job. Like, you guys do this full time. But it was also the job that, like, I walked into the back room and I was like, did you hire somebody else named Mindy? And she's like, why? And I'm like, because there's a Mindy that's the lead over toddlers, infants, and children, or toddlers and infants. And she was like, yeah, that's you. And I was like, nobody discussed this with me. And I don't even work in that department. Yeah. I'm never back there. Yeah. I don't know. Like, did you just have to put a name down? Because I don't want to do that. And one of my friends that I went to school with, his daughter worked there. And he messaged me and said, do you know so-and-so? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, it's my kid. And I was like, oh. And he goes, she loves working for you. And I was like, she does not work for me. I'm like, it's just that they're all 18 and 19. And I'm like, can you go do this? And and they come up and ask you like the strangest things. And I'm like, so they're asking you to do such and such? Yeah. And I'm like, so go do it. Like, I don't understand
why you need second.
Or they would be helping with the fitting room. And I'm like, you have to take more than 3 items. Like, fill up your hand with hangers.
Yeah.
Or I will punch you in the face.
Or go get a fucking cart.
Yeah.
And just put it all in there and walk around the fucking store.
Oh, I was a cart queen. The cart was never clean when I left for the day. I would just like, put shit all back in the fitting room. And I'm like, let them deal with it. I don't close anymore.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's because, well, one, it's a wine shop. And I feel like I just live there anyway. Yeah, it was kind of like when I first started working there, it was because I was new to town and I needed a second job because I worked at the TV station. I made shit, and it was like, I worked at like Panera, like on Brown Street downtown by UD, which was not that far away, but so far away.
Right.
You know, like an inconvenience. And it was like, oh, God, I don't want to do that. And I was hanging out at the wine shop all the time, and I was like, somebody was quitting, and I was like, I want to work here. Like, I want to work here because I'm here anyway. So I might as well be on the other side of the bar making money.
Do you guys get bottle discounts?
So we used to. Now we don't. But I will say we get So whenever she does like a discount now for normal people, we get like a better discount.
Oh, okay.
So we get that. Plus, like, I don't have a cork fee when I drink a bottle in house, which
Well,
is
that's
fine.
cool.
And I mean, honestly, the the difference in the amount of money I make now versus then is also significantly different.
Yeah.
Like quadrupled. So I'm kind of cool not having the discount anymore because I'm like, well, now I can afford the wine. So it's
Right.
fine.
There you go.
Yeah.
No, I can't believe that you do that. It's just crazy.
Well, and it's like I'd be there anyway sometimes. Like, you know, most of the time I'm like, when I'm working, I'm like, well, I would have been here anyway. So really, but you're right. It's the closing stuff that sucks.
Yeah.
Because it's like then everybody leaves and then you're like, you got to stock everything and clean everything and do all the stuff. And it's like, all right, that's the part that sucks.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, speaking of drinking wine, you guys found a movie theater with wine?
Oh my God. Okay. So we went to.
We were supposed to do something. Oh no, it was on.
Well, so because we canceled recording, you texted me on a Tuesday night to see when we could record next. And I texted you on Wednesday and it was like, so sorry, when you texted me, I could not function. So that was not a thing I could respond to because I'd have to look at my calendar and look at times. And I was like, I saw the text and I was like, yeah, I can't look at that right now.
Then I had to retext her the next day. I was just like, question mark.
So every once in a while I go out to dinner with some friends who have a Cooper Talk membership. Yeah.
Words are hard.
Yeah, they really are. So we met up after work on a Tuesday, and the group, we also decided we were all going to go see Maverick together. So we were going to go dinner and movie. So when I got to Cooper's Hawk, like I was coming straight from work, my other two friends that I met up with, they're both sitting there at the bar doing the tasting.
They're like, you're behind.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's fine. And they're like, all right, well, our dinner reservation. So we go sit at the thing. Well, your membership, you get like 1 or 2 bottles of wine per month, depending on what your, thing is. So she gets 2 bottles a month. Well, she had 6 bottles saved up, so we could drink as much wine as we wanted to. And so between the 3 of us...
it's like joining the movie club. You just can stock up.
You just stock up. Yeah, you just keep accumulating.
It's not like you missed 2. Sorry.
Nope. Yeah. Now, the tastings, you get a tasting every month, too, and those expire every month. But, so we sit down and we have dinner, and we split 2 bottles of wine between the 3 of us, which isn't bad.
Right.
But then I go to the bathroom and I come back, and they ordered another glass of, like, sparkly, bubbly, fun stuff for dessert. It was like, okay. So we split 2 bottles of wine, had a sparkly, Cooper's Hawk has this almond wine. It's delightful. Have you ever had almond wedding cake?
Yeah.
Oh, it tastes just like that in a glass.
Oh, nice.
With bubbles. It's delicious. So we had a glass of that.
I'm like, yay, dessert.
Yeah, right. And then we go to the movie.
You didn't have it with dessert. You had it as dessert.
Well, we actually had dessert, and then we had that after dessert. So it was like dessert on dessert. Because I had a creme brulee, and then we also had like this peach,
creme brulee.
Shortcake. Oh, it was so good. It was a caramel creme brulee too.
I'm a sucker for anything that's custard based.
Oh, it was so good. God, I love that hard sugar on top with the.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. But so then we went to the movie theater, and I'm like, you guys go sit down. I'll grab us all a drink and whatever else, because everybody decided we didn't want popcorn because we'd eaten enough and we were all full. And they serve alcohol and wine and stuff now. So I was just going to go get us each a glass of wine.
Did you guys go to this one up here?
Yeah, Cinemark.
The Cinemark? Okay.
Yeah, South, yeah.
I was like, because I know the Cinepolis does it too, but they're a shitty theater.
Yeah. So we go in, they sit down, and I go out to the thing to get wine, and I'm like, yeah, I need 3 glasses of wine. What kind of wine do you have? And he's like going through the options, and there were like 3 different kinds of wine he labeled off. And then he goes, and then we have a half a bottle of the Coppola. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? Did you say a half bottle? And he goes, yeah, we have half bottles. So instead of just a glass, you get a half bottle. And in my brain, I was like, oh, yeah. Okay. Because 2.5 hour movie, who wants to keep coming up and getting a glass of wine?
Yeah.
Which you should only have like 1 or 2 glasses of wine anyway. But I'm like, yeah, half bottle, great. So I got us each a half bottle. Which...
in hindsight
was a terrible idea. And also, even with my discount, because I'm the movie club person, it was still like $70 for 3 half bottles of wine. Well,
Jesus.
I also got 3 bottles of water. And the water there is stupid expensive too.
Right.
That was probably $15.
What, 70 for like Coppola?
Yeah.
I think you can go buy it in the store for like $15.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right. But yeah, so I got us 3 bottles. So we each had a half a bottle of wine in the movie theater while we were watching. Which, granted,
How was the movie?
you drink a half bottle of wine over, 2 hours, 2.5 hours. It's not as bad, but still, after having Cooper's Hawk and 2 bottles of wine, it was, we were pretty toasty. Movie was great.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I was not super excited about seeing Maverick.
Maybe for the same reason I am, because I hate Tom Cruise.
Okay, hate Tom Cruise. The original Maverick, I feel like I liked it back in the day, but rewatch, I'm just not a huge, I don't know, it was okay.
So the original Top Gun, I can watch constantly. It's Honey's favorite movie from when he was growing up. And at some point when I was in tech school, we ran around with this group of guys. And if you were at their place, it was either Top Gun, 8 Seconds, or Tombstone on the TV
I love
at all times.
Tombstone.
I do too. Sorry,
I could do Tombstone all day long.
Tombstone, my favorite quote is when they tell him he has to avoid sex and alcohol and tobacco, and his girlfriend is there, and they insinuate the fact that he tells her what he has to avoid, and they insinuate the fact that she is then going down on him, and he was like, darling, you might be the devil. Something like that. Just cracks me up. So they always had that stuff on. So I liked Top Gun, and I could quote it.
Yeah.
As you're going through it. And El Conquistador and I used to karaoke You've Lost That Love and Feeling. And we would ask them to can you hold the music for a minute? I'm sorry, ma'am, is this gentleman bothering you? We would go through the whole thing and then start that. So yeah, I liked it, but I like that Tom Cruise, not
This Tom Cruise.
Yeah, once he jumped on a couch and was like, Scientology forever. And was like, you don't need depression meds. You just need to think your way out of it. I'm way to kill a bunch of people.
That's the thing. So I don't know. There was nothing wrong with Top Gun. I have nothing against Top Gun. I think it was a perfectly fine movie. It's just, not my favorite thing in the world. It was okay. It's fine.
So does Maverick have also a homoerotic volleyball scene?
Football.
Football? Okay.
Yeah, this time it's football. But there's also women there too. So it's co-ed.
I mean, in all honesty, in the first Top Gun, that volleyball scene was not made for, I don't even think it was made for women. I sincerely think it was made for gay men. And I'm fine with that. But I was like,
it just made no sense to me.
I know.
Some of the things I was just I would.
I mean, Val Kilmer was hot back in the day. And now I feel very sad for
I will say Val Kilmer was in it, and what they did with his part I thought was very nice, and that was very sweet. And
did they dub over?
So they didn't. So from what I understand, it's actually his voice, but
compiled from different movies.
Yeah. So they had to do some AI kind of stuff with it, but it's his voice doing it.
It's just so sad.
I know.
I loved him. Did you? Oh my God. Did you ever see Real Genius?
I feel like I have. I know it sounds familiar.
So at the end, they use a giant laser and fill up their professors. So somebody wants to use their laser for military things. It's a 12-year, he's 12, 13, 14, maybe 16-year-old kid goes to college because he's a genius.
Yeah.
And he ends up getting roomed with, or ends up becoming friends with Val Kilmer's character, who seems like a ne'er-do-well, but is actually also himself a genius, which is brought out is that the colonel's daughter says, basically she's attracted to brains. She's like, I've slept with 9 out of 10 of the top minds in the world. And he was like, okay. And she's like, so you're next on the list or something like that. You're number 2 on the list or something. I forget what it was. But the one thing that I think everybody remembers is before they had to stop the evil people from using their laser, they had to get revenge on the professor who was trying to give their laser to the military. And so they filled his house up with popcorn and then used the laser to heat up everything on the inside and filled his house full of popped popcorn, which is hysterical. But
fantastic.
Yeah, I loved his earlier movies. Top Secret Top Secret's fantastic. Top Secret is like Airplane, but with Nazis.
Yeah. I feel like I remember that one.
Yeah, he just had a bunch of that style of movie to begin with. And then, he was in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
And then he was Batman.
Not my favorite Batman.
Yeah, no. That was.
But he has a pretty mouth, so
Yeah,
it looks good under the
that
mask.
works. Yeah, that works okay.
I don't know. Michael Keaton's my favorite Batman.
Michael Keaton is my favorite Batman.
Yeah.
And will always be my favorite Batman.
Oh, Michael Keaton used to do funny movies back in the day. I mean, I like that he took this Multiplicity, Mr. Mom.
Yeah.
Mr. Mom has my favorite scene in it where Martin, blonde-haired guy, Martin something or other, shows up to pick up Terry Garr to go on a business trip. And it's before he gets his Mr. Mom shit together. And he answers the door and was like, and she's like taking time to do something. He's like, Martin. Anyway. He's like, can I get you a beer? And the guy's like, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. Scotch? I'm like, every time I go someplace to order scotch, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. Scotch? I loved all of his funny movies.
Yeah.
Night Shift. Yeah. Oh, a lot of those guys used to do funny shit. Tom Hanks was in Bosom Buddies.
Yeah. Although I was never a big fan of Big either.
I didn't like Big.
No.
It just didn't do anything for me.
No.
And then as you got older and you were like, this grown-ass woman had sex with a 12-year-old kid.
Yeah. Real creepy.
Like, I feel like,
creepy.
I don't think 13 going on 30, like, had necessarily sex between Jennifer Garner's character and a dude.
Yeah.
I think they kept it innocent.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, I'm glad you liked Maverick.
Yeah.
It's getting a lot of really good reviews.
I will say I liked Maverick better than I liked Top Gun.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't imagine it. I'm going to have to go see it.
I will say they did very well. Miles Teller does very, very well doing, well, I want to say a knockoff Goose, but like, he's Goose's son.
Goose
And they have a piano playing scene.
Does he play Great Balls of Fire?
He does, and he looks just fucking like Goose. It is ridiculous.
Yay!
Yeah. It's very well done.
Take me to bed or lose me forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, his mom wouldn't say that to him.
No, but like.
But that's funny because they did have that character in, because she brought the baby to wherever they were. So, that was a traumatizing part of Top Gun when Goose died.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard. I didn't think they'd go there.
Yeah. There's a big, so a lot of the storyline revolves around Goose's son.
Yeah.
Interacting with Maverick. And so it's I'm
going to have to see this because I can't imagine something being better than Top Gun.
So that's the thing.
The fucking flybys.
Yeah.
And then you've lost that love and feeling. And the whole, like, you think we should just go for it right here in the bathroom. And he's like, counter seems sturdy. And Joker and them getting in trouble. And he's like, what is it? Number 2 is listed in the ladies' room. Sorry. Now you can understand why I watched Top Gun too much.
No, you gotta watch it though, because I feel like you would enjoy it. And even if you don't like it more than Top Gun, I feel like you'd still really enjoy it because there's I didn't want to go see it because I felt like it was just going to be a nostalgia trip and basically a redo of Top Gun.
Yeah.
And while it did have some nostalgia stuff in it, I thought it was a really solid, they came up with a good reason for all the things that they did, but they also included the nostalgia stuff because Val Kilmer's in it, and they did the references to Goose through his son, and they did it very well.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it was very nice.
Sorry, I'm just picturing Goose in my head going, we were inverted. Oh no, that was Tom Cruise who did We Were Inverted. He was like, what were you doing? International we were giving him the burn.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, and this is not a spoiler because it happens at the very beginning of the movie. Is basically you find out Tom Cruise is still a captain. Yeah. And people look at him and go,
oh, he hasn't progressed.
No. No. It's like he still has the same rank, and it's like, still? And he's like, I'm where I need to be. It's like,
I think you actually can get kicked out of the military for not progressing, but maybe not. I don't know.
It's suggested several times that he should have been in, and Val Kilmer basically kept him in.
We went and saw the Minions.
Did you? How
The
was
Rise of Gru. It's freaking fantastic. The Minions, this isn't giving away anything at the plot, but at the end, a Minions chorus sings, you can't always get what you want.
Oh, nice.
So just, 80 Minions. Me, 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 me. Nana.
Aww.
It was fantastic.
Nice.
It was absolutely fantastic. And I like anything Steve Carell is in. I really wish Steve Carell would go back to making semi-serious movies.
Oh, he did really well with that.
Like The Real Life of Dan or something like that.
Yes.
And then
I love that movie.
The Way, Way Back.
I don't think
He
I
was
saw
kind
Way
of a
Back.
creep in that. He played like this kid's mother's boyfriend, but he was kind of a creep.
Yeah, but I saw the Real Life Dan or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really good movie.
Because I don't like his Will Ferrell shit.
Yeah.
I'm not a Will Ferrell fan.
Yeah.
That I am going to see the movie that will come out, I think, this Christmas with Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell.
Okay.
And I only knew that it's a musical. And I only knew that they were making it because do you remember the trend on TikTok where they were singing Micah's song, I Could Be Blue,
Yeah.
I Could Be Good.
I actually just watched that yesterday.
So the Ryan Reynolds version of it is on it. And then Will Ferrell comes in at the end to do the high part. And they're singing each other. I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Oh, no, it's fantastic.
Um,
Honestly, when I run into it again on TikTok or Facebook or wherever else I find it, I probably watch it at least 5 times in a row. It's just on loop. Keeps going.
I forget who I was watching on TikTok. So you can do the splits. And he doesn't post a lot on TikTok. I think he will do it more like when there's, by the way, watch the Dave Letterman on Netflix. My next guest needs no introduction with him. He's fantastically charming and nice.
Wait, with who?
Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's fantastically
Every
charming.
interview I've ever seen with him. And honestly, I love the photos that get circulated whenever they go to like a public event.
Oh, and they cut each other out of photos?
Well, they cut each other out of photos, but have you ever seen the ones where like Blake's on the runway, like red carpet or whatever, and like everybody's concentrating on her taking photos, and like somebody else like snap a photo of him, and the way he's just looking at her, like it's just so lovely.
I know. I mean, it's amazing. There's a reason why him and Scarlett broke up.
Yes.
Possibly because Scarlett's a bitch, but like I feel bad for Colin Jost.
Well, I don't want to say that because I love her because she's a black widow. But also, I feel like Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively together are like the most cutest, sweetest, loveliest couple I've ever seen.
Absolutely adorable. And she makes like tiny cameo, like she's trying to avoid it. And then he's like, hey, honey. And the camera swings around her as she's trying to like get through the house without being noticed. But yeah, that was lovely. I was going someplace with this. Anyway, does the interview, do that.
Will Ferrell, Ryan Reynolds movie this Christmas?
Man, it's going to be this Christmas. I don't remember anything about it other than it's going to be a musical. It's the last movie he's doing while he's taking a break.
Oh, Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because he wants to be with the kids and whatnot. I'm like, Deadpool 3, TikTok motherfucker.
You know, it's...
Oh my gosh, I had to ruin life for my niece. Spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen The Suicide Squad.
Wait, which one's the Suicide Squad? The first
The
one or
most
second
recent one, the second one.
Yeah.
So we... Of course,
I can't keep them straight when they just have the...
I'm hanging out with my niece, and we were, my cousin and I were talking about, so my niece asked me if I think Pete Davidson's cute. I'm like, I actually do. I think his personality goes a long way. Sense of humor, personality, loves his mom, takes care of her financially, goes a long way with me. If you guys don't know his story, his dad died in 9/11. Watch The King of Staten Island. He's just, I think he's fantastic. But yeah, my niece was like, what do you think of him? Because I love him. And I was like, I think he's cute. I mean, he's, a little weird, but he's fantastically talented. I loved him on SNL. I like when he talked about like his mental health things. When he signed off this year, because he's left SNL, and he was like, Lauren should have fired me a very long time ago. And everybody stuck through because he's bipolar with borderline personality disorder.
Okay, I was going to say, was that it? Because I always go straight to, like, didn't he have a drug issue at some point?
I think he went into rehab, but he also went into a mental
health institute. Because he also,
Yeah. Which is why on one of the episodes of SNL, he was like, look, man, there is no shame in going to get help, Kanye. I'm not, he was like, use the meds, they work. And I don't think he was being mean. I think he was just like, dude,
genuinely.
We're all concerned for you.
I mean, and here's
I'm not concerned for him anymore.
Honest and openly, like, meds work. Like, there's a reason they prescribe them.
Oh yeah, I was a completely different person before somebody figured out that I was bipolar. Anyway, so we're talking about him. My cousin says, I love him on The Rookie because he has a character on The Rookie. He's still Pete on The Rookie, but he's Nathan Fillion's half brother on The Rookie.
I feel like I need to watch The Rookie. I love
The Rookie's fantastic. Watch it. There's like 4 seasons. It's on Paramount.
I was obsessed with
it's not on Paramount. It's ABC.
Years.
Oh God.
See, the problem is all these streaming apps are getting more expensive and more expensive.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get rid of HBO Max because honestly, HBO Max is like my go-to now.
Yeah.
And I've always had Netflix, but I feel like I'll go months without watching Netflix. And I feel like I should just get rid of it at this point because they upped the price again. And I'm like, I'm paying $17 a month for Netflix and $17 a month for HBO Max. And I feel like HBO Max is way more worth it.
If you're not watching Stranger Things, there's no reason to have it.
No, I don't. Well, right now we're watching Umbrella Academy.
Oh, that's true. But this is the last season.
Oh, it's the last season?
No, they've got one more season coming out.
Okay.
Because Honey just finished it, and I came into... what was I watching? I ended up watching a video of how they made the last episode of the season because they do the entire dance from Footloose.
Okay.
Like the prom dance from the original Footloose. And I was like, I don't understand this. So then I come in as he's watching the last episode, like it's completely closing. I was like, there to do the dance. And he was like, how did you know they did? I'm like, I don't know. I was looking for Kevin Bacon, and then that came up, and it was adorable, and they worked really hard on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, they. Anyway, so she was like, we love this, and then my niece is like, I've never seen The Rookie. Who's in it? I said Nathan Fillion, and I showed her a picture, and she was like, I love him. And I'm like, he didn't even know what his name is, but God bless you, I love you too. And then I said, what did I say? My cousin said The Rookie is the first thing that she's ever seen him in. My niece said something else that she had seen him in. She was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he's in Suicide Squad. And I was like, he's in The Suicide Squad.
Yeah. Not Suicide Squad.
The Suicide Squad. Zack
like
Snyder's.
Ohio State. They're very pretentious.
Yes. Ohio University and The Ohio State University. I don't know why they did that. But anyway, so she goes, he's in The Suicide Squad. And I was like, yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
His character's not that great. And don't get very attached to him. I think he's in it for 3 minutes out of 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brandy, where can you find us?
You can find us on Instagram or Twitter at DBBL_podcast, on Facebook and YouTube at DBBL Podcast, or on our website at dbblpodcast.com, or DBBL Podcast. DBBL Podcast. All right, I feel like I should say that slower for all the people in the back. DBBL Podcast at gmail.com. You can email us and send us all the things.
So yeah, I'm mostly running on the Twitter. I very rarely will post anything other than an episode release on Facebook or Instagram, just because I'm going to try and get better about Instagram, but frankly, that's probably not going to happen. So we appreciate you joining us, and we will talk to you the next time. Cheers! Cheers!